You know, it's kind of interesting. Tonight is, especially with what Shelley just said, there's a lot of friends and family here. And it's not just some long-term friends, obviously. My wife and Shelley from many, many years ago. And Shelley, we were right, we did get married. I think my wife said in 4th or 5th grade she was going to marry me and live in that house. Long-term friends back in the back, the Speichers. Long-term friends from the Sheriff's Department, and that is also family. And it's especially touching to me that everyone is here, and I really appreciate that. Sheriff's Department is a great organization. I've been there now a little bit over 10 years, and it has gone through its ups and downs. Obviously, Sheriff Christensen took over and hit some economic hard times. We had some family hard times with our organization. We have weathered it. We are strong. We are stronger than we ever were. And now he says he's going to go fishing. I give him 2 weeks. I don't think he's going to last longer than that. But the time has come for the next sheriff, and I think that I am that man. Many of you know me, some of you don't. I'll try to give you my life story in 2 minutes or less, because everybody really wants to drink the do-good whiskey. Obviously, I grew up here. This is my home. I have been here my whole life. I graduated from Turlock High School, went to the United States Military Academy at West Point, graduated from there in 1994, spent 5.5 years on active duty with the U.S. Army. Came back here and I ran my family's farming operation east of Denair out in the country for about 4.5 years, and then I'm looking at my good friend Kurt Speicher back there. September 11th happened, and I was supposed to pick up almonds that day, and I ended up over at his house a few hours later as we watched the news, or at his parents' house actually. And Kurt told me later, he said, "You know what? I looked over at you and I knew you weren't going to stay here that long." And a few years later, I ended up in Iraq as a company commander with the National Guard. I came back here in '06, and that's when I became a cop. Many of my soldiers had been in law enforcement, and it kind of encouraged me to pursue that. Law enforcement was recruiting, and well, I didn't like to farm that much anymore, so the stars aligned, and I became a cop. Sheriff Christensen hired me on my 5th day in the academy, or came over and recruited me. There was still the process, and I've been there ever since. I love this career, and I love this county. I've left and I've come back several times due to military service, but this is my home, and my family is here, my extended family is here, my friends are here. I care deeply about this county, and I care about making it a safe place. Like I said, we have a very strong organization, and as the sheriff said, there's a lot of work that still has to get done. The number one thing that we have to solve is our personnel issue, our staffing problem. We have about a 10% vacancy rate in our department. There are a lot of services that we cannot restore until we can solve that problem. That is priority number one. Priority number two is training all of those new people and upping their level basically upping their experience through training, because we have a very young department. Kind of the corollary to that is upping our leadership. And when I say that, in the next few years, there's going to be we're going to hit a bubble of retirement. Obviously, there's one coming here in about 50 weeks or so is the day. That's one of the first ones coming, and there's several that come after that. So you are going to see a new face to this organization in the next 3 or 4 years. The entire top half is gone. And that has to be led by someone who understands leadership and who understands moving an organization forward. And given my experience and my education and my commitment to this county, I think I'm that guy. And I ask for your support, I ask for your help in getting there. Obviously, the sheriff has said there's a number of things that we can do. There's going out, there's telling your friends. There's a bunch of pamphlets here. My wife and Donna and the crew put them around. Take them and go find your neighbors. 3, 4, 6, 10 people that live next to you. Tell them, spread the word, give them a pamphlet. Social media. All right, I'm almost 46. I'd be in a week or so. Just leave it at that. I don't want Marie to sabotage my office. She knows my birthday anyway. Well, I have to reach this millennial generation that lives in social media where I don't live. So help us reach them. Get out there on your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter. Like it, share it, repost it. Shelly, if you could, where did you just go? There you are. You're so tall. How did I miss you back there? Because you're right, Doug, who's even taller. That speech, if you could repost that, I would love that. That was incredible. Thank you. Yeah, if you support and endorse me, I'd ask you to get on there. Say why. Share my page and say why. Get that message out there. And then finally, obviously this is going to take a lot of work. It's going to take some physical work. We're going to start walking here in a couple of weeks. Signs will come out. Kind of depends on exactly where you live, whether they're 120 days out or so on, but they're going to get delivered. And I know many of you already volunteered to help me get those out. Thank you. But most importantly, this takes votes. And I ask you for your votes, I ask you for your support, and I ask you for your help. Thank you.